How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Bitcoin is about to make a decision. It's about to break either to the upside or the downside. That sounds so obvious, but we are getting very close to where Bitcoin has to either move below the 200-week moving average and break down significantly from here, or it's going to go above the bear market resistance band. Benjamin Cohen just pointed this out. There's lots of stuff happening in Bitcoin right now, actually, with the cold card wallets this last week, with Strategy just selling more Bitcoin. We'll talk about that, along with where we are in the cycle, along with a useful tool that you can use as well. And we have some news on the broader market. We have news on crude oil falling down in price. We have news on Trump. We have news on earnings as well. So if you don't mind, hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this one. Also, if you do want to trade crypto, there's some links underneath the video. There are some great bonuses going on right now. And this is typically the best time to be signing up to do this, because if you want to do what I do, which is long-term, long positions in Bitcoin, I know that sounds redundant, but basically like 2 or 3x positions in Bitcoin over a long period of time. Typically, you want to do that when we've gone down significantly in the bear market, and it's impossible to time the bear market completely. But if you can do it when Bitcoin's around maybe 50, 60, 70% down, you'll probably do quite well during the bull market. So you can deposit now, set up those trades. Check out BidFi. There's a link in the link tree. You can get up to $2,000 in bonuses just for signing up and depositing. Also, there are links to Ubit, which has over 1,000 assets you can sell and buy from stocks, commodities, crypto, and BTCC, which has a 10% deposit bonus on your first time deposit. So check those out underneath the video. All three of these partners are fantastic and great places to trade. Now, the pre-market is quite green. The Dow Jones is up 1% and just climbing. The S&P 500 is up, and the NASDAQ slightly up, but it's been coming down a bit. We got good news over last day. Apparently, Trump said the attack we were planning on Iran would have been the largest since World War II. We decided not to attack because they want to make a deal. Now, they came out and said, no, we don't want to make a deal. And then Trump said, yes, they do want to make a deal. Obviously, we have no idea what's going to happen with them or what's going to happen in general with Iran and the war and all that kind of thing. It flips back and forth every day, but the market likes this. Oil, WTI crude, is down 6.6%, which is a significant drop. We went all the way up to $92 back on the 23rd of July, up from $68. Now we're, falling back down pretty significantly. This is still much lower than it was back in April when we were at $113. So this helps out the broader market. Now, it's not really helping out Bitcoin too much right now. Bitcoin is under 63,000 once again. It's just kind of been floating here for a while, hasn't it? You look back and we've, since the beginning of July, just been floating between 60,000 and 67,000. Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now, one thing that's actually pretty useful to look at for Bitcoin in the bear markets is the 200-week moving average. Typically, you have to find it on Twitter, or if you're a little bit more savvy, you go to TradingView and actually set up the indicator to show you. But a lot of people don't even know how to do that now. Strategy has added it to their page here. So you can go to strategy.com/Bitcoin and you can see the 200-week moving average and today's price of Bitcoin. And you can see the discount or the premium to the 200-week moving average. So 92.8% of the time, Bitcoin spent above this 200-week. Last cycle, we spent a lot more time below it than what we typically spend. And the discount got to about negative 25%, I believe, maybe negative 30%, somewhere around there. Now, Bitcoin is at an interesting place. Another interesting line is the 200-day simple moving average. You can see we got rejected by it back in May. And actually, last bear market, we got rejected by it when we went up to that $48,000 level. And then it took a while to get above it again. It took until January after we fell in March. So maybe a couple more months and we can get above this line. This line's sitting right above $70,000. Typically, we would see another breakdown here soon and then a move above it. The at the beginning of next year. You can look at the Bitcoin spiral chart as well. We typically would have another 3 months or so of red until we hit the exact bottom, and then we come out of the bear market. Last cycle, we hit all-time highs about a year and 3 months later. So we actually didn't have to wait all that long to hit new all-time highs. A lot of people are watching Say learn what he's doing as well. Typically, he's just been buying Bitcoin, but recently they've changed. Strategy increased its Bitcoin reserve this week by $250 million and repurchased 81 million of STRC. This increased USD duration by 57 days to 2.3 years and tightened STRC's Bitcoin credit by 5 basis points. The interesting thing is, though, they increased reserve and repurchased for about 331 million. If you go through their forms, they only sold 290 million of MSTR stock. So they diluted common shareholders, but somehow they had more money than what they diluted by. Now, how is this? Did they just make another $40 million? No, they either took it from cash or it's because they sold about 1,638 Bitcoin. So apparently, according to this SEC filing, they sold almost 2,000 Bitcoin for about $105 million last week, reducing their holdings. A lot of people wonder, well, what are they doing now? Like, what? They've stacked all this Bitcoin and now they're just going to sell it in the bottom of the bear market? What are they doing? Well, I think they realize that the market does not want STRC to be this levered, right? Like, when it's down below its par value so much, when it's down below 100, to make people feel confident, they have to do something to bring up the price to 100. It can have short-term variation below 100, but they don't want it to stay below 100 for very long. Then people won't feel confident. So they're going out and buying back more shares. I believe the first week they bought less than they did this week. The first week that they bought back STRC. STRC is nearly at $90 after just 5 days ago. It went down as low as 87. If we go a month back, it's been as low as 85. Back in the end of June, it went all the way down to the low 70s. So it's up 20% from there. So yeah, they're in a tough spot because they introduced this preferred and they can't sell any more of it, which means that they are, they're kind of stuck just waiting for it to get back up to par. Otherwise, they just continue to pay the dividend, but they don't really have the benefit of using it to buy more Bitcoin, which is the whole point in the first place. So they're trying to make it more attractive by buying back shares or by paying larger dividends, etc. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. I think this makes it so much harder to value something like MSTR. When they have all these different preferred stocks, it's just incredibly difficult to understand the liabilities, the risks, and how this will perform versus Bitcoin. So I feel like I'm less likely to buy at this bear market than the previous bear market just because it is so complex. Now, it is a big earnings week. Let me pull this up. We have earnings from a lot of large companies. Obviously, last week we had a lot of the Mag 7, but this week we do still have a lot of earnings. We have Palantir after the close today, obviously a huge retail favorite. We have Pfizer, Caterpillar, McDonald's all tomorrow before the bell, AMD, and SpaceX afterwards, which obviously those are two huge names, two trillion-dollar companies. Basically, Shopify and Uber before the market opens tomorrow, or on Wednesday. SanDisk, AppLovin, and Elf all on Wednesday, along with Mercado Libre. This is a holding that I have. The only company in the stock market that's grown revenue by 30% for however long it's been that they've been growing it every quarter. It's incredible. Like, their growth is insane, and it's still under $100 billion market cap. After the close on Thursday, we have Airbnb and DraftKings. So kind of a lighter second half of the week here. But the next 2 days are pretty stacked. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Obviously, the Mag 7 are doing quite well today as well. I've been saying this for a long time, but I thought these were very cheap. Microsoft's, Amazon's, Google's, and Meta's of the world. Google, obviously, a little bit more fair value recently, but very cheap last year when the tariff dip was happening. But these are all doing quite well in the pre-market, up anywhere from 0.5% to 3%. And I just have said over and over recently for the last 6 months that I think these are extremely cheap and the safest stocks in the stock market. So I was loading up. So quite happy with the recent move. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much. I'll see you. Just a reminder, this is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. Do your own research. I'm never going to reach out to you either in the comment section or through any other means to try to get you to invest in something that I'm investing in or to send me crypto. Some links underneath the video are affiliate links. I may earn a commission, but this is at no extra cost to you. Of course, do your own due diligence.